When we look at, looked at democracy, wholesomely, we've also looked at some of the challenges in terms of why citizens are not enjoying the dividends of democracy. And talk to us on, the consequences or challenges of a poor democratic system and governance to a country's sustainable development.
Yeah, so quite interesting. We are seeing that already, and it plays out in several ways. First off, the very big consequence that people might ignore in many instances is the detachment of the citizenry from the government. Now, when that happens, it appears as though it's a simple problem, but it's also very, very complex. When citizens are detached from a particular government, it means that the government itself is unable to galvanize all of the citizenry and the human resources it has for development. So a typical situation where government fails in a particular place and the citizens are celebrating the failure of the government because they don't see the government as a government of their own. For them, what's their business, if the government fails? So I think that, for me, is a very, very big challenge. So citizens, and once citizens are detached, they drag the government in different directions, right? So the failure of the government is a win for the citizens. I think that is one of the very big challenge. We see that in our election results regarding the voter turnout and how only very few persons come out to vote. We all have to make democracy work, and one of the consequences of democracy not working is the insecurity that we have. Whether you look at Boko Haram, banditry, whether you look at the IPOP situation now in the southeast and all of that, you realize that they are all saying one thing. Right? If you move to Boko Haram, if you look at the root causes of Boko Haram, they will tell you it is corruption, it is government neglect, and all of that. Before even the extreme views that they have, if you ask the bandits, they will tell you it's also the failure of the conflict resolution process and all of that led some of them to banditry. Of course, the IPOP situation will tell you that it is the age-long neglect, especially after the Civil War, that is making most of them now, go into these secessionist agitations. Another challenge that we have is the Jackpot syndrome that we have. People will leave the country when democracy does not work, and where are they running to? They are not running to military governments. They are running to other democracies where it's working. So it means that it is not that they don't prefer democracy. They are going to where democracy works, where healthcare works, where it is predictable, where a senator cannot trample on your right, where the House of Representatives cannot trample on your right. Everybody is in an equal footing. So that is where they are going to.